Welcome, you chubby nerds. I've been like super absent on this channel, but what better way to fill me with excitement and creativity than to have the new Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City trailer come up? This movie is literally a month away. It's around the freaking corner. First of all, can't believe it's already spoopy season. Okay, we're in October. Halloween Kills comes out in next to no time. So why not start off the Halloween season with getting excited for Resident Evil getting back to its horror roots? That's something that I'm really excited about. Okay. I know it's very controversial, people's feelings about the Resident Evil film series that we've gotten over the years from Paul W.S. Anderson and Mila Jovovich. I don't love them, okay? Think that's the general consensus. Were they fun to watch when I was younger? Yes. Okay, with a lot of other people, pretty much grew up with those movies. Obviously, my favorite being the first one. It was the closest to being horror as the movie series itself was. Obviously, Resident Evil Apocalypse still had elements, but obviously that's where it started to get a little, kind of out of control, a little ridiculous, a little bombastic, I guess. But I still do love those original three movies. I obviously love the first, even though it didn't stick to the original game the way that we wanted it to. I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. Fucking huge Resident Evil fan. I specifically remember being super young in the 90s. I was born in 1990. So when the first Resident Evil came out, I literally was a freaking fetus, okay? And my older cousins pretty much introduced me to video games and basically scared the living shit out of me by playing the first Resident Evil game. And I specifically remember that iconic image in the first Resident Evil game when before you get into the nightmare, you just, enter the Spencer Mansion, whether you're playing Jill or you're playing Chris, you have that moment where you come upon the fallen member of your team, Kenneth's body being ripped open and eaten by that crazed zombie, and it does that turn. Okay, it didn't really look like that, but you know what I mean, right? You know what I mean. That image has stayed with me my entire life, okay? So all I need them to do, okay, all I need this movie to do is literally recapture the excitement I had and the fear that I had when I was a kid. With that moment, if they bring me that moment alone, I'm gonna lose my shit. Like, I'm literally gonna lose my shit. I just want them to do what video game adaptation films refuse to do for whatever reason, is stay faithful to the source material. Stay as faithful as possible to the source material. Now, I get it. There are some people, you're going to update it, like we can't have a carbon copy because if, you want a carbon copy, just play the game. No, bullshit, okay? I want to see this live action. Sure, I can always go back and fucking play Resident Evil, yes. But if I'm going to watch a movie based on Resident Evil, and especially a movie that is Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, I want you to properly introduce, establish, and execute to me Raccoon City. welcome me to Raccoon City. That's what I want. That's what we all want, okay? I want to see dogs. I want to see liquors. Bitch, if you got a hunter in this fucking movie, I'm going to fall out. I'm going to freaking fall out on the floor, okay? And please have the tyrant at the end of this movie. The one thing other than that initial zombie that you see for the first time in Resident Evil, other than that terrified me, was the fucking tyrant, okay? The tyrant changed the game as far as to a formidable foe in the finale of a horror game, okay? I don't know what it did for y'all. But for me, horror-stricken. Freaking horror-stricken. Now, I literally just yesterday, in my own time, completed the Resident Evil remaster. I played it on Switch because I just got a Switch recently because I'm so late to the game. I purchased it on Switch, replayed it as Jill, and now I'm replaying it a second time around as Chris, because one thing, when it came to the original Resident Evil, I found it for whatever reason, Chris's campaign is so much harder than Jill's campaign. So in the original PlayStation game, I beat it as Jill multiple times and was, for whatever reason, never able to beat it as Chris, and never went back and did that. Even now, I have the original Resident Evil on my PlayStation 3, because I still have my PlayStation 3. I got a PS3 and I got a PS4. I got one in each room, okay? My PS3 is for all my retro shit. Well, not all the retro shit, but as much as I can get, because they don't have backwards compatibility. But yeah, so I have the OG RE2 for PlayStation on my PS3, the OG RE1. So I beat it, with Claire, like I said, but I haven't fully completed with Chris. Even after all these years, I still haven't. But I'm going to do that before this movie comes out, because I'm all about celebrating Resident Evil now. I'm so excited for this movie. I'm going to quit nerding out, and I'm going to get into this freaking 2-minute and 28-second trailer. Please. All this movie needs to be is faithful. All you need to be is faithful, okay? Just do what other video game film adaptations refuse to do, and that's be faithful to the source material. Now, some pictures have come out of the characters. They don't quite look like how the characters traditionally looked. And at first, I have to admit, when I saw it, I was kind of like, well, that's not how Leon looks. Well, that's not how Claire looks. That's definitely not how Jill looks. But I was like, you know what? Let me reserve judgment. Let me wait until the trailer comes out. Okay, let me at least wait until the trailer comes out so I can see everything in action. I know when they take these production stills, it just, you're just looking at a picture. You're not looking at, a moving image. You're not looking at it with the lighting and, the extra effects and all that stuff. So I was like, let me hold judgment. And here we are, okay? Here we are. We're going to hop into it. The Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City trailer. We are going to get right into this bish. All right? Super excite. So wow. Okay, here we go. And 3, 2, 1. Let's get it.
Every story has a beginning. Discover the origin of evil.
It's September 30th. It's not September 28th. Daylight.
Here, Claire. Your conspiracies weren't true when we were kids. They're not true now.
Ooh, we're gonna
expose Umbrella. Watch this.
I'm afraid, Claire. I'm afraid of what they're gonna do to this town. See, Umbrella, they have an incident. I'm talking Chernobyl, if you know what I mean. People are getting sick. You gotta help us, Claire.
CGI is
Let the
kind of
world know
wonky, but
what's
it's
really
going on.
Oh, great song choice.
Shall we go?
Is that Lisa Trevor? Ooh!
What were your brother doing here?
This is where they're experimenting on him.
Split up.
Sure, it's always a good idea. Ooh, the mansion looks good.
What the?
Oh! What the?
We're gonna take Umbrella down.
What is that? Exclusively in movie theaters, bitch. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. I've got thoughts. I've got thoughts. My excitement for it comes from the fact that, ooh, my hair's alone. My hair is just as wonky as the CGI, bitch. Yes, that was a read. My excitement comes from, it looks fun. It looks fun. It looks like there's going to be some thrills. It looks like it definitely has the elements of horror that I know I'm looking for. I could imagine that there are a lot of other people that are Resident Evil fans that are also looking for it, because it's not what we've gotten. You know, with the old Resident Evil movies, it was just, I'm all about camp, but those movies were just like it was just like weird camp. You know what I mean? Like, it just, I don't know. I just felt like they were unnecessarily campy. You know what I mean? Like, it just, I don't know. They were just so bombastic. Bombastic is probably the best word that I can use to describe them. But at least, now, obviously, when we watch the movie, that's when we're really going to get everything in context. But I can tell that they're making it their own. I appreciate them at least showing some true Chris and Claire storyline, because that was something that I really, really wanted. I mean, again, I keep bringing it back to the old Resident Evil movies. There's a lot of things that I wanted from those Resident Evil movies, but apart from Jill Valentine, like, I'm a huge Claire Redfield fan, okay? And I will tell you, Resident Evil 2 is probably my favorite fucking game. Apart from Nemesis. I love Nemesis, and the best thing about Nemesis is Nemesis himself. But apart from that, I really latched onto the Claire Redfield storyline, and it even bringing it into Resident Evil Code Veronica. Code Veronica, apart from Resident Evil 2, Code Veronica is like my second You know, I have to put it on my second. Like, I know, you know, we've had Resident Evil 7, which is amazing, Resident Evil Village that recently came out, that's fucking phenomenal. But as someone who's an OG fan, I have to go with the nostalgia factor in what originally got me hooked to the series, and that's the OG games. Resident Evil 1, love it. Resident Evil 2, love it. I love RE3, and Code Veronica was just it. I loved the aspect of Code Veronica that just kept Claire's storyline moving, and her desperate search to find her brother, and bringing that to a close. Um, Now there were certain elements, certain characters in Code Veronica that I didn't particularly care for. I think his name was Steve. Yeah, Steve. You know, the redhead with, the Uzis and shit. Didn't particularly care for him, but it was cool playing, as him in the game, and getting to use his fucking, Uzis, and then he gets like the golden Lugers and shit, whatever. Anyway, but I just I don't know. I like what I see in the trailer. I don't like the CGI. Um, the design of the liquors is cool, but the CGI looks wonky, even like as far as like, the semi flipping over, with the tank and shit, like, or fuel truck or whatever the fuck it is. That looked kind of weird. And then, the liquor, though cool, looks kind of weird. And, the dogs, even like the one shot, like the straight, forward shot of the dog, with the snarl and shit, like that, looks weird. And then, they did, I didn't, see like the traditional tyrant from the original Resident Evil game, but they show some type of huge, tyrant-esque monster, that looks like it's crawling on all fours and shit. I don't know if that's going to be, William Birkin or something, or, whatever. I mean, I guess it kind of looked a little William Birkin-esque. Maybe. It could be. But then again, it's like, I don't know. I know that they're adapting like the first two games. But I don't know. I'm just really interested to see how they break, because like how is the story gonna be? Like, is it going to be, like two stories that are happening simultaneously? Like, is it gonna be like the mansion incident, with Chris, with Jill, with Wesker, with Barry, and then simultaneously, Jill and Leon's story is being told, while everything's happening in the mansion, Leon and Claire are, dealing with, RPD bullshit, and then it's like, I don't know, like, how is it gonna work? How is it gonna work? I don't know. Anyway, if anybody's watching this and you're a Resident Evil fan, you're, just as invested and interested as me, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you're interested in, what you're excited about, what you hope to see with this Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City film. All right. Thanks so much again for watching. Leave me a like, subscribe, and we're going to reawaken this channel. And we're just going to get moving. Okay. Stay creative, y'all. Bye.